everybody. We are back with another Rock in a Hard Place. Today is personality. So, Dr. Coverson, I'm going to ask you, let's briefly describe personality, or in other words, the Latin term persona.
Yeah, so personality is this mixture between your traits and your states of identity, right? So when you go to think about difference between a trait and a state, right? A trait is like a genetically inherited, biological, brain-based kind of understanding, whereas a state is in reference to the environment and the context around you. And so your personality really is this kind of ping pong ball moving between these traits and states. And everybody kind of has a threshold, top and bottom, that they typically stay within, and that's who you are. That's your persona.
And that's like somewhat about a normative, right? There's not necessarily you just have one personality.
Right. So, and that's where things get a little bit trickier, and
Yeah.
sometimes people lose their understandings. Like everybody has multiple different forms of personality. And when we think back to our understandings of reality, sensory and perception, we talked about symbolic interactionism, how we kind of hold reality within the people we're around at that moment, right? And so that's some of what we're talking about.
So that's into, I guess, temperament perspective, right? It's always been, even from all the way to Hippocrates, it's always been about this fluid, this change and shift, depending on what is more prominent at the time. So would you like to touch on Hippocrates and Galen as well?
Yeah, so Galen was one of the first person who kind of started talking about these four different temperaments that we get into, right? All of them kind of melancholic, choleric, sanguine, phlegmic. All of those, the words are kind of not things that we're going to use anymore, right? Instead, what we're talking about here falls more in like Wilhelm Wundt's work of kind of emotional, non-emotional, changeable, unchangeable. And what those create is these continua. And so Galen really, and even going back to Hippocrates, popularized this way of looking at the quadrants of personality, or the quadrants of the motivations of our personality, as it